All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 292. Today on the show, we have more leftist violence to start off housekeeping this week. Then, this woman gets BTFO'd by ICE in our migrant section. Then after that, the LGBs are separating themselves from the Ts in this week's Cringe of the Week. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we have a lot of unfit for trial types that keep getting dumped back in society. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 292, ranked the best news podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Radboy. All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, we have a very special Bonus Land announcement. We are changing the schedule of Bonus Lands. We're going to be bringing you Bonus Land episodes on Wednesdays and Saturdays, which means there will be a Tuesday regular episode and a 30-minute Bonus Land on Wednesday, a Friday regular episode, and a 30-minute Bonus Land on Saturday. So if you join, you get Fleccas Talks, the podcast content 4 days a week. You'll also get days of backlog content, which includes Henchman Maxing 1, Henchman Maxing 2, our golf special, the Iguana Hunt, plus more content to come. Sign up now. FleccasTalks.com is the website. Get the show 4 days a week, and it supports us, helps us keep the lights on. FleccasTalks.com is the website. Go there today and max out your Fleccas Talks, the podcast content. Thank you to Bonus Land for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Bonus Land for sponsoring.
Thank you, Bonus Land.
Hey, guys, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, episode.
Keeps going.
You see how that works?
Yeah.
We got something special. All right, lot to get to. Let's just go right into it, unless you got some stupid fat fuck stories you want to tell.
No, Mr. X do anything embarrassing this weekend?
No, nothing from Mr. X.
Nothing to launder through Mr. X? Okay.
Nothing that I know of about Mr. X, but we're going to tell more Mr. X stories.
Okay.
So I think it's a fun way to like not incriminate yourself all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mr. X has got taxes coming up soon.
Yeah, Mr. X is waiting for that 7-year period of audits to fall off for what Mr. X did in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we'll have more Mr. X stories for you guys. But let's get right into it. Jimmy Kimmel, we spoke about this last episode. He was canceled for doing anti-Charlie Kirk comments, and it was really, in our opinion, canceled for performance, but now he's back on.
Yeah, which is fascinating. Basically a statement from ABC saying, last Wednesday we made the decision to suspend production. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, we've reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. So Jimmy Kimmel is coming back despite the record low ratings
tonight
relative to other late night people. Yeah,
that's exciting. And I wanted to point something out that we didn't point out on Friday. Jimmy Kimmel's getting 160K views an episode. And I would estimate that 40% of these views are from TVs that are on at the gym that no one's watching.
Yes.
Stuff
definitely.
like that. TVs at the airport where no one's really paying attention. But 160K views per episode. Guys, we have episodes that outperform Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Stinky BBL, with all of our audio only and Rumble, that's at like 170-something thousand listens and views.
And then how many people are running this operation?
Me, Richard Ratboy, and Nick the editor.
Yeah.
Us three. Jimmy Kimmel has a team of over 200 people and an annual budget of $100 million.
Makeup, catering, the joke writers, interns, everybody. It's a whole thing just to fumble this key audience. And this is 18 to 49-year-olds, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just a segment of his audience. But yeah, like you said, it's ABC. You can put an antenna in the air and get ABC. So it's everywhere, literally.
They're trying to stuff it down your throat.
And yeah, so I'm a little shocked that they're bringing him back because I thought this was the excuse to get him out. Maybe there was something where if I get canceled because of a stupid joke, then I get paid out through the end of my contract.
Who knows?
So they might as well milk it or something. And I looked it up. Jimmy Kimmel's contract goes through, I think, mid-2026 or something. And he mentioned retiring after that. And I think it's not retiring. It's called getting sunsetted.
Yeah, 160,000 views, the same as us.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
That $100 million budget.
I know.
They have cameras everywhere, then they have insurance for the cameras.
And it's a weird thing, too, because
They have all these people, and then they have insurance for the people.
yeah, catering, which Fleccas kind of does. If you saw his Uber Eats budget.
I do provide crafty on set.
Yeah. But Jimmy Kimmel, this whole thing, the 100 million, and they're also scamming advertisers too. There's a certain like ROI that advertisers expect. And with our advertisers, usually overperform. Jimmy Kimmel probably sells like expensive ads to people who can't measure how well it did.
And then the companies who are buying the ad space kind of buy it knowing that they're going to do it at a loss so they can keep promoting the narrative that Jimmy Kimmel's pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a scam.
One hand washes the other type scam.
Yeah, it is a scam. All right, well, congrats, Jimmy Kimmel, for coming back.
Yeah.
Excited to watch. Said nobody.
He said 168,000 people across the entire world.
All right, our next story over the weekend at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, Trump and Elon back in good graces.
Yeah.
Here they are shaking hands.
I don't know. Hey, sorry I called you a pedophile. Hey, sorry I said you were addicted to drugs. And
Yeah.
walking around the White House. Yeah.
But it's RNS to put those beefs aside.
Definitely, definitely. You can't let those beefs become shootings out on the street or something like
Yeah,
that.
and
When they're killing our peers.
Exactly. And especially with the mission that we're on, you have to put those beefs aside. You can't have two of the most powerful people in the world mad at each other for a personal reason. There's actually like bigger goals to accomplish, and them together makes everyone happy and stronger.
Totally, totally.
And then Elon did an interview that I thought was very interesting. Listen to what he says about his time with the government.
Alto and not Washington, D.C.
I'm at Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters in Palo Alto.
Yeah. So no more Washington, D.C. You're back at work. You're focused. Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't been to D.C. since May.
Okay.
That was a hell of a side quest.
That was a good sign. Any lessons from your time in Washington, D.C.?
The government is basically unfixable.
The government's basically unfixable.
And he goes on to talk about the national debt and how it's basically our entire defense budget every year just on interest payments. So
It makes you worry.
He's
because
black-pilled.
He's very black-pilled,
Yeah.
and a guy like that would be the type to say, let's just usher in AI Overwatch technology and let AI run the government.
well, he basically did say that at the end. He said, we basically need AI and robots to make us so much money that it somehow digs us out of this horrible governance, right?
So that's kind of scary, too.
It's pretty dark, and I can't say I don't agree with him. He's right. Our national debt is so crazy, and we basically need a zero interest rate environment to even make any progress on it. And which side of the aisle is going to make progress? We basically even argued for it ourselves, like, hey, we got in power. We need to spend some money on our things that we like, and then Democrats will do that to justify it, and onward the cycle goes as we trade power, right?
Yeah. So we will see, but kind of black-pilled.
Yeah. I don't know. Invest in assets. Invest in things that somehow can't go tits up. The US dollar. If you're holding a lot of cash right now, I don't know. And then I'm giving advice like the market's at the top and we could get black swan. So it's ugly out there. Protect yourself. Have a little bit in every basket. No, not all eggs in one basket, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Well, I don't want to say what I'm up to.
I know.
But I have a vision, and I'm executing it.
Yeah.
All right, we have a leftist violence section. We're going to kind of speed round this, but last week, once the Jimmy Kimmel cancellation got announced, someone went and shot up in a local ABC news station.
Yeah,
and we have some background about the guy and also why he did it.
Yeah, I think it was near Sacramento. It was somewhere in California. So the guy who shot up that ABC 10 news station who had previously posted about a race war started by Trump was just let out on bail. And here's the guy, Al Hernandez Santana. And he basically did a drive-by on an ABC news station, like 3 bullets in a window, like sending a message. But his tweets all sounded something like this. The race war has begun, and Trump started it. When you order the state security apparatus to profile brown people, arrest and deport them, including residents and spouses with legal status who are protected by asylum or are on their way to immigration appointments, that violence is illegal.
Yeah, so we did a drive-by, and he was let out on bail. Hopefully he's calm now.
I was going to say, it's like Bolo. Be on the lookout for this guy. It's unbelievable how quickly, I'm sure all that political rage has subsided now, and he's in control of himself. He's sitting at home having a nice cup of tea with his wife.
He was shooting randomly into a building, but now he's all good.
All that rage has subsided. But yeah, so that's example one. Example two, there was a gunman who attacked the Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua, New Hampshire, who was shouting, "Free Palestine."
At a wedding, I believe.
Exactly. And that will probably be categorized as right-wing violence somehow because the guy was white.
Actually, it wasn't political.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with politics.
And then we actually found out some new information about the guy who tried to kill Justice Kavanaugh.
Yeah,
Turns out he was trans.
Well, after the fact, I guess. The man who attempted to kill Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh identifies as transgender woman and was deeply mentally ill and suicidal, according to documents first obtained by the Daily Wire. So his old name was Nicholas, and now he's Sophie after trying to kill a Supreme Court justice and getting caught outside his house.
Cute.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. Wikipedia, is such an apparatus of whatever the narrative is that they immediately changed the entire assassination attempt on Brett Kavanaugh to she/her stuff. So it's like Roski traveled by plane from her residence in Simi Valley, California to the D.C. area. She then took a cab to Kavanaugh's home. She was wearing black clothing and carrying a suitcase, a backpack, a Glock 17 pistol, zip ties, a tactical knife. She, blah, blah, blah.
Don't want to offend her.
Yeah, she had a murder kit outside a Supreme Court justice's house. And yeah, this is one of those, I guess, more trans terrorism, but after the fact, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're going to count it. The ADL or anybody with right-wing or left-wing political violence probably will put it in the undetermined category once again.
A good point. And which takes us to our Antifa section. We have a little bit of an Antifa update here.
Before we get to Antifa, so that's like Charlie Kirk, the Free Palestine shooting, and an ABC shooting. And it's all happening in quick succession, basically in a week. So just realize where we're at with the temperature right now, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. Things are accelerating. We have a bunch of Antifa stories in this next segment. First is one from 2023. There was an Antifa bomb attempt on a Michael Knowles event.
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Yeah. Pittsburgh Antifa bomb-making terror couple, Brian DePippa and Crystal DePippa, have been federally sentenced after both pleaded guilty over a bombing attack to try to stop a Michael Knowles event at the University of Pittsburgh in 2023. Brian pleaded guilty to conspiracy and obstruction of law enforcement, and he was sentenced to 5 years. Crystal received a sweetheart deal for pleading guilty to obstruction of law enforcement and was sentenced to only 3 years of probation. They'll also have to pay over $47,000 to a campus officer who suffered injuries. The DePippa couple and their Antifa comrades attacked attendees of the event. Brian hurled an explosive at police, causing injuries to officers. They also used homemade smoke devices to obscure vision and cause panic in the crowd.
So they were attacking a Michael Knowles event. Michael Knowles, if you guys don't know, wears a bow tie.
Yeah.
He's a completely normal guy.
Smokes cigars. He'll talk to you very nicely.
Nice Catholic man. He wears a bow tie. And that is like the extremists they needed to attack. And they explained in this next tweet, Andy knows next tweet, it was about transphobic hate speech was the motivation.
Yeah. The network justified the attack, saying it was to stop transphobic hate speech. The words echo the Charlie Kirk assassin suspect. So they'll take anything, any actor, anybody who isn't fully in line with their trans agenda. They'd probably hit the Wikipedia headquarters if they didn't immediately change that page.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the most innocuous talking points, it's kind of open season on you. And this is from 2023. We've seen the recent ramp up in the trans violence and rhetoric. And be careful out there, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, and we have a picture of the couple. This loser pussy and his Asian wife planned a bombing of a Michael Knowles event. And it's not the terrorist from Jack Ryan like you're used to.
Yeah, it's not Muhammad al-Jafari, and he's got a network, and he also knows how to counteract the CIA and shit. It's just like stupid idiots who are doing this in public, and that's why we want to see Trump, declaring Antifa a terrorist organization. Like, these guys go to meetings, they go to community events, like where they're together plotting with other Antifa people. The shit is more organized than you think, and it's easy to locate them before the fact of a impromptu bombing instead of after. And this guy's just a pussy.
That's what, Antifa are such pussies. That's what I have written down.
They are.
And they're not even like, oh, well, in numbers, they're actually scary. Like 90% of show watchers can beat up an Antifa person every time.
Yeah, one-on-one for sure, but they try to get you with a bike clock on the side of the head, or they try to get you with some sort of like battery acid or something when you're not looking. It's all sneaky, subversive stuff instead of like confrontation. They're not like meeting you like the British and American cavalry or something in a field. They're trying to sneak around, firebomb something. So that's why they need to be treated as a terrorist organization. And then this is some sort of fundraising or like announcement about it. Yeah, you can write or donate. It says free Peppy and Crystal, free them all. Like they didn't do anything wrong. They really support each other even after they got caught or like crossed a line, right?
Yeah. And like we said, Antifa are like really, really big pussies.
Yeah.
And we have
I've never seen like a Chad or a really strong one or anybody who's like, oh, send in the tank. That's Brian. He does the heavy lifting. I haven't seen it.
I haven't. I've been to Portland and I did a video confronting them and I was like literally calling them pussies to their faces and they were like, what was that? I was like, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
And we actually have a video of them training to confront ICE. Here's what that looks like.
I gotta get lower. So much strength, but I stayed up at least. That's the point, right?
So they're all just pushing each other around, horsing around.
They're training.
Yeah. And this kind of looks like what the O-line used to do in the corner of the end zone when we were playing college football. But if our coach saw us going that hard, he'd tell us we were brother-in-lawing.
Yeah.
Meaning treating the other guy like your brother-in-law.
And taking
going
it off.
easy on him, taking a play off.
Taking a play off.
But these guys, this is what they're up to.
Skinny arms, mask, pussy.
And then they also are just in a big group planning on pushing ICE. That's what they're going to do. They're going to push ICE.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And like we said, any one of us could beat them in a fight, but when you fight them, you get arrested and not them because they're protected. One of the reasons they're protected is because the ADL controls how Antifa is labeled not a terrorist group. And I saw this post, this video from Harrison at InfoWars. Listen to how he explains it.
The ADL says it themselves, May 30th, 2014. Did you know the ADL trains every new FBI agent on their role as protectors of the American people and the Constitution? Well, that's got to be a good thing, right? I mean, they're the Anti-Defamation League. They're the ones who know all about hate. They're the best to tell everybody. But the problem is, if you go to the ADL, you can find articles like this. Who are Antifa? And they say this: Antifa is a decentralized, leaderless movement composed of those collections of groups, networks, and individuals. Persistent disinformation campaigns about Antifa distort public perception of the movement. Antifa's professed purpose is to vigorously oppose fascism, guys. It's in the name. They're the anti-bad guy contingent, so how could they be bad? They're the anti-bad guys. It's in the name.
Which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And that's why whenever there's like a fight with like Proud Boys versus Antifa, the Proud Boys go to jail for 5 years minimum, and then Antifa kind of just dissolves and disappears, and it was a random group.
Yeah, so those training materials are the most generous. So the ADL, they keep control of the political violence statistics, and then they tell you Antifa's nothing. So any Antifa violence doesn't get counted because those are just bad actors with some sort of information manipulation. So it's a real dark backroom thing that's going on to kind of keep the information obscure from people like you, right?
And that's how you get to the conclusion that, there's all this right-wing violence.
Yeah, duh.
Because they control the definitions, they control the terms. And I'm actually happy because Trump recently labeled them a terrorist organization. So maybe there's a world where we can find out who the friends of ADL, which friends of the ADL are paying Antifa to do what they're doing. I think that's what comes next.
Yeah.
All right, we have a Charlie Kirk update. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, there was a really nice event for him in Arizona at that football stadium. It was great. 300,000 people showed up. Hundreds of millions of views and streams and social media views. We're going to show more of that in Uplifting Gold. But there was an agitator group from a few days ago that I wanted to show from New York.
Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk. Racist bastard. Racist bastard. Piss on your ashes. Piss on your ashes. Spit on your grave. Spit on your grave. I'll never be a slave. 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 I'll never be a slave.
I'll never have a job. I'll never go to work. Like, you can replace it with anything, and they're all going to be doing it anyway.
It doesn't seem organic to me.
Yeah.
Do you think those guys know anything about Charlie Kirk before this happened?
I don't know. Or if they just wanted to agitate or something like that.
You think he goes online and goes, oh, man, I wish you would debate me. I have a lot of ways to oppose your beliefs.
No, but I could believe just a pure hatred of white people could be behind some of this, you know?
I agree with that, but I think these types like didn't know who Charlie Kirk was until the assassination, and now they're doing this, and it doesn't seem organic. I'm not saying they're being paid, but maybe there's some sort of like, hey, go out there and demonstrate. Yeah. And I think that, like I said in last episode, they're planting the seeds for the eventual race war.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Next, there was a Congress vote to condemn the killing of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and then Nick Soratora tweeted, back in June, every single House Republican voted to pass a resolution condemning the killing of Melissa Hortman. But this morning, a few days ago, 96 Democrats voted either against or present on a resolution condemning the killing of Charlie Kirk.
Here's what I don't get. First of all, I'm sure everyone voted to condemn the killing of George Floyd, right? I'm sure everyone did.
I don't know.
But what does this do?
Nothing.
Why is our Congress voting to condemn the killing of Charlie Kirk? Like, what, don't we have bills to pass? Aren't we giving all of our money to Israel and Ukraine? Like,
they wanted to waste a little time on something, I guess.
But like, what is that? All it does is show you who didn't vote. So then you can go, oh, we're mad at so-and-so for not voting.
Yeah, it's a very stupid thing, I think. Yeah.
Vote to condemn the killing. The man is dead. And now we're going to vote to say you're either happy or sad about that.
Yeah.
It's like fucking wasting time.
I know. It's little kid shit. I don't agree with it
What
at
is
all.
why don't we just go do our jobs? And then Jasmine Crockett reacted to this, and she had something stupid to say.
One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so...
Spell rhetoric.
Yeah, spell Caucasian.
She know that there's an H in it?
She starts counting on her fingers. Yeah. That's like, there's no counting. It's spelling.
Caucasian. Let's see. C-A...
C-O-C-K.
Caucasian. Yeah, so she's obviously a retard, low IQ, and just stirring the pot, being used as an agitator.
She's being racist after the fact of a useless vote condemning Charlie Kirk. She gets on CNN, she goes in studio, and, you know, that's the extent of, like, what some of our Congress people are up to.
Yeah.
Useless vote, useless talking about it after. Also, you can kind of self-aggrandize and promote yourself, even though part of promoting yourself is, like, showing half the world you're retarded.
Yeah.
The people who like her nod along and go, yeah, good point, Jasmine. They do this shit. But she's just showing half the world she's retarded. And then wasting time, wasting all of our time.
It's almost like she's bait because when people like us on a Fat Racist podcast say, oh, this person's low IQ, like an idiot, then it's like, oh, everyone's racist. They call in Jasmine low IQ, but she a congresswoman. So it's almost like they send her out knowing that a just reaction of like, this person's not that smart will be their way of saying, oh, look how racist they are for calling a black woman stupid.
For sure.
They like that about her.
Yeah.
And then Ilhan Omar was saying a bunch of stupid stuff about Charlie Kirk as well, even though she committed immigration fraud and literally married her brother.
Yeah, she said he belonged in the dustbin of history, stuff like that.
And she covers her head.
Yeah.
Stupid. And
she's like cheated on her husband. She had like multiple affairs and stuff. She's like a real scumbag person. There's not like some sort of, she's really religious. She wears the headscarf and then goes and cheats.
Yeah.
Goes and meets up with a staffer and starts cheating.
We got to send her back.
I think we're actually close, guys. I think like she did commit immigration fraud.
Yeah.
Literally married her brother.
Yeah.
And so I think
that's illegal.
Yeah. And I think we're at a point where we can legitimately denaturalize her. And she's such an agitator, and it might be some sort of rallying cry for the left, but I don't care. Full steam ahead. And you know what's funny? I was thinking about this. Like, I don't hate Ilhan Omar in the context of her existing as a person, but I hate Ilhan Omar in America with a modicum of power. And if she was back in Somalia, I'd go, have fun. I wouldn't think about her ever again if she was back in Somalia. And that's why, like, deportation is, like, totally on the table.
I really hope so.
She there was a video of her saying, "Oh, I dream of going back to Somalia." And it's like, we can make that reality. We can make that happen.
There's a flight soon. Yeah. And I actually saw this post. It's a tweet. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But it's her net worth over the last 5 years.
Yeah. She started in debt, and then she went to 65K, 115K, 205K. And then in 2024, she's all of a sudden worth $30 million. What a scam.
How did that happen?
Yeah. She gave money to probably her spouse through, contracts she controlled or something. It definitely wasn't organic. I think a congressman's salary is 170, 180K-ish.
Maybe she worked for 300 years.
Yeah, maybe she worked between 2023 and 2024. She may have worked for 300 years.
Yeah. Or maybe she has some book. I'm sure there's a book deal where they pay you up front and you owe them a book that no one's really going to read, but it's a way of just like funneling you money.
Yeah.
So either way, not good. And to close out this section, obviously the FBI's story of what happened is becoming less believable by the day. They just over the weekend said that the 30-06 round that went through Charlie's neck stopped and then stayed in his body. And there's a lot of hunters and military people online who are like, yo, you could take down a moose with that. Doesn't really make sense. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but doesn't really make sense. And there's like military snipers who have killed 1 million guys, and they go, I've never seen a bullet 30-06 not go through.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of things about 30-06 rounds going through like steel plates and stuff.
I think a 1/2-inch steel plate it goes through. And then Steve Bannon even said 0% of the War Room team believes the official narrative. Same boat here for me, at least. And I did see this one post that was compelling. Someone analyzed the audio. They took all the different camera angles, synced them up, and then analyzed the audio from where they were. Can you read that first tweet?
Acoustic analysis confirms shooter was near ground level, 70 to 90 feet away, not a rooftop. Crack bang intervals across all recordings, 0.08 to 0.14 seconds equals 70 to 90 feet distance. Closest audio clip shows a total crack bang overlap impact near or clear equals less than 100 feet.
And keep in mind, less than 100 feet, that's very close. And then what they're saying was it was 200 yards away?
Yes.
Or 150 yards away or 200? I think it was 200.
200 yards.
So 200 yards is like, what, 600 feet?
Yes.
So even if it's not that accurate or less than 100 feet is a lot different than 600 feet.
Yeah, and then basically he made a map here triangulating the overlap from all the camera positions and their audio to come up with like a range of where the shot could have come from.
And then you connect where all the circles intersect, and it's that stairwell that showed the muzzle flash, and people corrected me last time and said that that was a fixed window, but the muzzle flash in that window, I believe, was a reflection from someone on the stairs. Also, a little correction from last episode, too. Remember the guy who went behind the tree and disappeared?
Yeah.
Someone who was on the campus went there, and then they told me that there's like a staircase back there, so he could have gone down the stairs and then turned or something. So that wasn't what I thought it was.
Say sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir. Well, but I am digging. I am searching. Obviously, the story that came out does not make sense to a lot of us.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was a bullet at this point.
And hey, listen,
it could have been one of those weird.
And they say there's a bullet in Charlie Kirk's neck. It's one of these weird things where there's a lot of questions, but to come out and say it was a miraculous. They called Charlie the Man of Steel, and it was a miraculous that the bullet went.
And the boomers are like.
Yeah. It's really weird. And there's not much affirmative evidence for something else is what I think. But man, the story is not getting easier to defend or anything. So it's very weird. The thing is, this kid has parents and like a dad who recognizes the gun and all that. So like there are actors who hold some of the answers out there. It's just a matter of it trickling down and being fully affirmed to us, laundered through the FBI. And that being trustworthy or an acceptable story, it's kind of sad. In 2025, this day and age, it's almost like you're not going to get a clear answer in any way. Is how I feel, at least.
But the good news is, back in, for example, 9/11, how long did it take people to reject that story? Like 10 years, 20 years almost, right? And then COVID, faster. People are immediately like, what's going on here? So like the amount of time people take to reject the proposed narrative is shortening. And it's to the point now where this happened a couple weeks ago and there's people who are like sleuthing autistically trying to figure it out. And when you have a guy do the audio analysis like that and he has all the circles, I kind of like stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what the FBI thinks that no one's really going to do and they can just lie.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So we will hopefully figure it out. But the problem too, and I was telling Ratboy this before the show, if you figure it out, you're dead.
Yeah, they fucking come and go like this. Boom.
So if we come on the show and go, guys, we figured it out. It's this person, blah, blah, blah. I found this camera angle no one else saw. It was so-and-so.
Or they Rudy Giuliani sue you for like $200 million, like the fat black woman who worked at that place in Fulton County, remember?
Yeah.
They'll come and take your watch collection. You're Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, or Alex Jones, Sandy Hook.
Yeah, they're going to come and take your entire company. So you really can't stick your neck out these days. But lawfare or you said kill, but they'll at least lawfare you to death.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
And you know, us in a Fleccas in a court case, I wonder if the judge will be friendly. I wonder if jury selection's going to work out for me. Fuck no, it's not.
I have to wear a suit to that?
Yeah, you got to wear pants, buddy. You got to put on pants for the first time in months.
That's bad.
I know.
But we're going to figure it out.
That was Mr. X. It's Fleccas' defense. Nothing.
Imagine we get that going where whenever we present something, Mr. X, and then
become split. M. Night Shyamalan. You have split personalities.
And then I have to take a lie detector and say, are you Mr. X? And then I like truly don't think I am.
Yeah.
I have to like believe I'm not. So I'll spend weeks training to separate myself from Mr. X.
Absolutely.
I'm not Mr. X. I'm not Mr. X.
But yeah, man, it was weird. Bad updates that are just like, I'm supposed to explain the miracle bullet thing. There's a miracle bullet.
His bones were really strong. Yeah. And it's like your neck bones that are just like a bunch of little bones.
They're not even really connected.
Yeah.
They're like barely connected.
Nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
But we're not being disrespectful.
Of course not. We just seek the truth.
We just seek the truth, and that is our responsibility, and we're going to keep doing that. All right, let's get to our migrant section. First, we have some people in LA who are training to oppose ICE, and this is what the meeting looks like.
Because it's such a huge coordinated attack against our communities, I have to assume at least one of you here is here for the wrong reasons. So if there is a pig in the room, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, we're not doing anything illegal. We're on the streets from 5:30 in the morning till past midnight, and it's been 7 days a week ever since the attacks have started. So people are putting it down.
So that's the energy.
That's the energy, and then the phrasing is important. They call them attacks on our communities. The verbiage is very important to kind of radicalize some people. And this is Union del Barrio. And they have like one guy who maybe knows what he's doing, had some sort of military or police experience, talking to a bunch of masked up, weak-armed pussies who are just going to like try to stand in front of a truck or something.
And women.
Yeah.
Women with like an old 70-year-old bob haircut. Mm-hmm. You got to get ready to oppose ICE. You ready? Are you ready, Deb?
Deb, go eat a few bullets. Go eat a few of those paintballs that are actually pepper spray, Deb.
And this is what that actually looks like. We have a Deb here who stands in front of the van.
They hit her with a couple. So they shoot her like 6 times after, like, stay down. And remember, like just a few short months ago in the Biden administration, standing in front of a truck like this would have seriously halted everything for hours maybe.
Yeah.
And now we have a mandate to get the fuck out of the way. You're an old woman in a stupid dress, eat some paintballs, right?
Yeah, it turns out that was a full-grown federal officer man in tactical gear, and you're a fat, Golgi-body lady.
Yeah.
You got to get out of the way.
It's a mismatch. We call that a mismatch in sports.
And if you were part of a team with good leadership, they wouldn't have sent you out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or maybe they thought it would be sympathetic, but you're getting tossed these days. It's a new world out there. And, that guy who is teaching the resistance group, it's kind of like you're leading people to a bad incident, right? a broken arm, a hurt eye, something to make you miss work, pepper spray all over your face, you know?
You'll be good. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck out
You
there.
think I got this?
You remember the training, right?
Yeah, you got this.
No.
You think I got this? Yeah, you're going to be great.
He goes, think I got this? Yeah. Like one of those. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, you're going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, our next clip. Gypsy migrant type tells his son to steal the iPad.
Look at that energy. Staring, not shopping at all. Little kid steals, 7-year-old.
And this is how they view our country. It's like an opportunity for them to steal from because we're dumb for trusting them too much.
True.
And that's how they feel. That's how they feel about it.
Can't forget about gypsies.
Yeah.
I feel like they get lost because they're not a large group, but they're a really scumbag group.
Is gypsies ethnicity, or is it just a people that do a certain thing?
It's an ethnicity, like the Roma people, right? And they all look like that light brown. Their women are a certain type.
I got a little gypsy in me.
No, you don't. You have nothing. You have nothing. in
Right
you.
on.
Yeah.
Right on, brother.
All right.
All right, well, similar energy for people that want to take advantage of us because we're too trusting and dumb. We have an H-1B update area of our podcast now.
Yeah. Thank you. Very eloquent. You should teach a class on H-1Bs or something to a room full of Antifa retards. So basically, H-1B, there was a big thing that popped up over the weekend, I think starting on Friday. President Trump was expected to add a new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas. H-1B sparked a debate amongst the right wing, the tech right, and then the nationalist right back in December, where Vivek basically came out and said, you guys watch too much Saved by the Bell, import a billion Indians. Elon kind of loosely backed him up. But a lot of the normal right-wingers pointed out the flaws in that logic. So Trump said that he was expected to add a new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas. He held a press conference of him signing the executive order where Howard Lutnick was there, and he said this is going to be a $100,000 fee per year, which H-1B is supposed to be a program that lets people come into the United States to do jobs that Americans can't do. There aren't enough talented people to do it. And so a $100,000 fee per year, a company would be glad to pay that. A Fortune 100, Fortune 500 company, that's such a deal. Because I need this guy.
It's the only way to get the guy. It's the only way to get him.
I need this guy to make Netflix run great. I need this guy so Apple can do the next iPhone again. A slightly better camera and slightly better battery life. And so that was kind of the justification, and we all celebrated it. We thought it was going to go to existing H-1B holders. There was kind of this weird gray area when they announced it, where it looked like a total right-wing victory. And a $100,000 fee obviously prevents a lot of the fraud. Bringing my cousin over here to work at the gas station, bringing a pickleball instructor over. A lot of the stuff starts to, the scammy, low-level, low-hanging fruit area of it starts to not make economic sense if there's a fee, right? Then after that, when we were celebrating this victory, Caroline Leavitt came out, the press secretary, and said, to be clear, this is not an annual fee. It's a one-time fee that applies only to the petition requesting the H-1B. Those who already hold H-1B visas are currently outside of the country right now will not be charged $100,000 to re-enter. So that was an immediate fear. A lot of the fake H-1B people who actually have been living in India all this time doing a remote job, they thought they were going to have to come back, and flights from Mumbai to San Francisco were like $5,000, which I loved. I loved seeing that.
We're going to get to that in a sec.
H-1B visa holders can leave and re-enter the country to the same extent as they normally would. Whatever ability they have to do that now is not impacted by yesterday's proclamation. And then she announced that this applies only to new visa holders, not renewals and not current visa holders. It will apply in the next upcoming lottery cycle. So basically neutered it after the announcement where
Neutered it.
Where we thought it was a total victory, right?
But as soon as it was announced, though, like you said, a lot of the Indian people who were fraudulently working in India but claiming to be in America on H-1B, they would have to get back before the deadline. And we have some context about that.
Yeah, flights from India to the U.S. have surged to 4,500 USD because of all the people on, quote, vacation coming back. Except they're not on vacation. They've been illegally working out of India once they secured their H-1B. You have to understand how utterly corrupt these people are.
And then we have a funny situation where people on 4chan were reserving flights, and then for 15 minutes, they'll keep your reservation until you finish the checkout process.
Yeah.
And then they would just start a new thing where they're saying, oh, I want to fly from India to America. And you pick a couple seats and you hold it for 15 minutes. So they kept doing that. Can you read that?
Yeah, 4chan is reserving flight tickets from India to the U.S. In the checkout stage, so no H-1B can use them to get to the U.S. before the deadline. And so this was during that brief moment where we thought we had a total victory and we were charging them out the ass to come back. And somebody was posting the top 25 highest traffic India to U.S. flights. It's all, Delhi to different New York and West Coast airports, Bombay and Bangalore. Bangalore?
Yeah, something like
so.
that.
All right. But yeah, so a lot of patriots on 4chan were just doing the God's work there. And I'm not going to read all of this, but it was funny for a while until we realized they didn't even have to come back. They can still keep scamming us.
Unfortunately. There was a brief moment where things were feeling good, though.
And it's still something, right? And I hope there's more to come. I hope the administration, Stephen Miller, please, I hope the administration realizes the backlash from this. This was not it's a start, but we need to redo this because, like I said before, H-1B started as we can't get workers here, right? Nobody knows how to do this database work. I'm Google. Nobody knows how to do this database work. We need someone here. And in reality, there's one guy in Russia who can do it. Bring him over. But in reality, it's become this Indian jobs program to the U.S. We've covered it before on the podcast. 75% of all H-1B holders are Indian. We've talked about how China and India have similar numbers, but India way outperforms them on H-1Bs. So it's kind of become a scam, and Indians are the face of H-1B right now. They love firing white workers, American workers, and hiring their cousins.
Yeah.
And it's people, insiders on Silicon Valley, people who know how it works, they realize it's a scam. The closer you are to this, the more you realize it's a scam. And that's why a half measure or a step in the right direction is not enough for this Trump administration. And we have the mandate. Stephen Miller, please, we're begging you to get another leg on this executive order because it's really not enough. We need a total flushing of the proverbial turd that is H-1B. And we're not talking about, and actually, we are going to flush it to the Ganges. They have to go back.
And like we mentioned, when they're fraudulently working in India and getting American dollars in their pay, that directly impacts the Indian economy, helps the Indian economy. They probably pay $1 for rent a month.
Yeah, and we've talked about how high remittances are to India, too. That's money that, a job that leaves our country to an extent, and money that directly goes out.
And then there's another stat I didn't realize. Indian Americans come to America and then vote 2-1 for socialism. Most of them don't become Americans. Instead, they attempt to turn America into India. There's no amount of economic contribution that makes up for this. 2-1 voting for socialism.
Kamala.
And there's a lot of them.
A lot of Kamala voters, right?
And then there was actually a point here. It is a little more Richard Rapboy reading, but I think he likes it.
Yeah.
It's called the Candy Bowl problem, and I thought this was really insightful, and we have to tell you about it.
Yeah, and the tweet, interestingly enough, I believe comes from an Indian woman who is an MD, and I thought it was brilliant because we've shown a lot of the Indians recently and how some of their third world behavior comes over here, comes to Canada, poaching, littering, things like that. But there's a more nefarious thing at play here, which I think she lays out, and I like this lady. I think she... All right, I'll just read it. She says, what I call the candy bowl problem is the reason why Indians, who almost no one in our country thought about 25 years ago, are increasingly hated. During Halloween, kids go door to door saying trick or treat and receive candy. Sometimes a person isn't home, and so they leave a bowl of candy on their front porch. When you come across the porch candy bowl, what do? We Americans mostly know the implicit morality to take one piece of candy. Some folks will come across the candy bowl and immediately dump the entire bowl into their bag. Indians keep taking from the candy bowl. They're mistaking a vulnerability for an opportunity. It's a low trust / scarcity mentality, no doubt. But the candy bowl isn't an opportunity. It's a morality test that Indians are currently failing. All of the diploma mills, scammer job placement firms, and HR kickbacks, and people who max out their credit cards before leaving, never intending to pay it back, are perceived in India as capitalizing on an opportunity, but to us, they're exploiting a vulnerability. You're taking the candy bowl, and we hate people who do that. A lot of Indians are confused and angered by the criticism because they actually expect to be praised for being so clever. They think what they're doing is good and maybe even admirable. To us Americans, though, it's immoral. Vulnerabilities are not opportunities, not in our nation. This is the most important lesson to learn before coming here or to any high-trust society.
That's so true. They live in a low-trust scarcity mindset, and they go, ooh, candy bowl. No one's even looking for it.
Yeah.
No one's even looking after it. I'll dump it all.
I'll hire my cousin. I'll scam this. I'll do that. We've shown a bunch of the examples over the history of the show. The guy who worked at a bank making $80,000 a year, talking about what he got from the food bank in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they see these opportunities as just like weakness, or anyone can do that, instead of what's right or who it's meant for, the intended purpose. And then not only is that candy bowl thing metaphorical, but sometimes it's literal. Like in this next example, this was a Facebook post from Waterloo in Canada, from the Rustic Oven, and they said, "Hi everyone, does anyone know who this man is? He left today with $120 worth of baked goods and 3 cartons of eggs and forgot to pay. He was driving a large Lincoln. To all of you who support me and continue to support me, thank you so much. It means the world to me, blah, blah, blah." So this is one of those no employees, like trust stands. What do they call them?
Yeah.
The trust stands, the farm stands.
Yeah.
And an Indian guy who drives a Lincoln Navigator.
Nice car.
How much is a Lincoln Navigator? 70 grand these days?
Yeah.
And a turban, comes and takes everything he can hand over fist, literally empties the candy bowl, and drives away. And he's got identifying tattoos. He's on camera. He doesn't give a fuck.
And he thinks he's smart because no one's even here watching. Oh, I can take all of this. And if you're still unsure, look at this next photo.
What is this?
Right in front of Microsoft.
This guy was shitting like a rocket-propelled jet right in front of Microsoft?
Right in front of him. That's like a multi-trillion-dollar company. And
$3
he
trillion.
blows a dump like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. And we're going to wrap this segment up. We have a couple more things here. Can you read the H-1B lottery thing?
Well, this we've already talked about. This is just a guy giving a personal example of a lot of people who, after losing their job or failing the H-1B lottery, people maxing out their credit card before leaving. So they get free 10 grand to spend on whatever they want, and they know they'll never come back to America, so they might as well rip off Visa or rip off Citibank. Right?
And this guy posted that saying U.S. banks would stop providing credit cards to immigrants and like how scary that would be.
Yeah.
And then someone replied to him and said, Indians are loading up on U.S. credit card debt they plan to never pay back. What worries me about this?
What if they stop being given credit cards?
What if they stop being given credit cards? That's how they think.
Yeah, totally.
Pretty crazy. And then we have another example
of desperation and betrayal and snake mentality for some of these Indians. Somebody posted on some sort of message board, "Hi guys, please help me with the decision. My husband is an H-1B holder earning $140K per year. I am H-4 and working. We don't have kids due to his H-1B visa uncertainty, and we are very stressed out. There's a guy in my office who is a green card holder who is financially well settled. He likes me a lot, and I kind of like him too. Can I divorce my husband and marry my colleague? I don't want to be stressed out for visa in future, and I never want to visit India again."
Not good.
So you're going to leave your husband because some guy with a green card is nearby. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then to wrap up the whole section, H-1B was started like 35 years ago.
1990.
And this is where it's gotten to. Has that been people exploiting the candy bowl?
Yeah, it has the entire time. And it's really a honey hole for India. And now there's an India lobby. And if you think about how many people are in India, like they can just keep exporting people forever.
Billion.
And it's not necessarily good for the world as a whole.
Good point.
So yeah, again, it's one of those things where 35 years and then whoop, it's over. Like shit changes so fast that if the Trump administration doesn't do something to seriously stop it or reverse some of the negatives that have happened, then I'm losing a little faith because that 100K is not enough.
I totally agree. All right, we're going to go abroad for our migrant section now. We're going to go kind of fast through this just because we're running low on time. We can't be having these housekeepings go over an hour. First, this guy in the UK.
It's not housekeeping at that point. It's just the whole show.
I know.
So,
first is this white guy in the UK going to a certain neighborhood, and look what happens to him.
Leave them. You don't do this. Who the police? Don't touch her. Excuse me.
So it's a no-go zone.
yeah.
It's a true no-go zone.
Double-decker buses, beautiful London. 40-to-1 ratio of Muslims to white men. What happened?
It might be 400 to 1.
I know.
And here's what the streets look like during prayer time.
This is in King's Cross. King's Cross. Notice the irony? Like Christchurch, New Zealand, and there are Muslims there. King's Cross. And they're praying on the street, you know?
Not good. And then we have some stats out of France that are pretty sad.
France is experiencing over 100 rapes a day. This has amounted to 40,300 rape or attempted rape victims in 2024. An average of 110 per day. 110 rapes a day in France. 58% of victims were minors and 89% were women. That means over 60 minors a day are a victim of rape or attempted rape in France.
Isn't that crazy? 60 minors a day.
And it never happened before. It was never like that before.
And here's a clip of what it kind of could look like. This is a Ring camera. A girl was walking home from school, walked into her house, and look who follows right behind her. Walking up to someone's front door, opening the door,
and looking inside to seeing who's there. A full adult male Somali with no job.
Who they pay for with their tax dollars to live and eat food. Can I have your daughter? No. Okay.
Oh, okay, I'll just leave then. I'll get her tomorrow.
Yeah, and then he walks on. And what would happen if that girl was home alone?
I know.
You know? I don't even want to think about it, but, maybe he... No, look who you're dealing with.
You just wanted to talk. I don't think so.
And then we have the police tracking people down and arresting people for flying the flag. And look who the cops are chasing after in this clip. They're chasing after the wheelchair guy. They're chasing after a guy in a wheelchair with a UK flag. That's what the police are up to. And then here's another example of police. These police are responding to, I believe, a woman who posted something that was not acceptable on Facebook.
Okay, what was it? Sorry, I don't like the camera. You can have my body cam. I can exhibit that to you. I just don't like the camera, really. Okay, well, I'm doing this because this is my own house and I am telling you why I'm doing it. So I just need to know why would she's basically viewed a post which is not an arrestable offence.
Viewed offence, that's good.
Okay.
It happened in May and you're completely fine. The only thing is we need to seize the phone at this current moment. The phone needs to get seized from us, otherwise we will escalate this further. So
but with a voluntary interview. So have you seized anyone else? Is she the only child you're picking on?
Voluntary interview, you'd be able to come.
Have you spoken to anyone else?
No.
So they're trying to seize a minor's phone because she viewed a social media post.
And eventually they push their way in the house and don't take no for an answer. So
for viewing a social media post.
Yeah, new lows constantly happening.
And that's the cop, some stupid girl and a Muslim woman.
Yeah.
And that's who's going to come enforce the law and seize your phone because you looked at something. Yeah. Pretty bad. And then
we're like, I saw so many clips. We're going through a lot of the international. We're at like a boiling point, guys, for international, and everyone needs to wake up because some of this shit is so crazy. You're coming to people's houses for social media posts, but then you see another Syrian migrant threaten everyone's lives, and nothing happens to him, right? So,
or the migrant follows the girl home and tries to get in her house, and nothing happened. You just let him go.
I can't arrest him. He didn't enter the house. He just tried the door handle.
So bad.
What do you expect me to do?
And then our next clip, a migrant steals something from someone, and then the civilians track him down. But look what happens with the brown security guard. Look what he does.
He's a pickpocket.
Pickpocket, they catch him fast. And then there's the security guard back there, hands in his pockets. So the brown security guard with the hands in his pockets
comes up and he goes, relax, everybody relax. It's like, you, jump into action.
And I kind of want to extrapolate this further. I read this post about Daniel Penny, and it basically was an NYPD officer's perspective. And he said, we treated Daniel Penny with the most respect. We went through the process by the book. He was let go. But from the top down, they kept pressuring them to keep the charges, elevate the charges, keep them, make it as hard for them as possible. Mm-hmm. And they didn't want to do it, but they had to. And then we remember the stat from a few months ago where the NYPD's police force has increased, but it's 50% minorities.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And a lot of people who aren't from America originally, a lot of immigrants, are now on the police force.
Foreign-born NYPD people.
And then you see the Muslim woman in the UK police example, and it makes you kind of wonder, when you have these foreign-born police officers in New York City, are they going to be enforcing what the powers that be tell them to do? Yeah.
They're going to be yes men.
They're going to be on the side of the migrants and against the native population, I think every time. And they're going to take orders that like a red-blooded American who might say, I'm not doing that, that's not right. Those immigrant police officers will go, oh, I'll do it, yeah. Oh, he's against immigration, he's against migrants. Oh, yeah, well, we'll arrest him for social media posts. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of something to think about. That's why I wanted to point that out from that clip. Our next clips are a bunch of people who are pushing back. I don't know where this takes place. This is in England?
I'm not sure, but this guy's a YouTuber, and he posts a lot of content like this. He's kind of going around Europe and exposing these kind of milling about migrants and their bad attitudes and the scams they're pulling. And this is just an example clip from him.
Very, very hostile-looking people. Why are you so rude, man? Why are you so rude? Because I can film where I want to, yeah. Well, we're crazy too.
No, he's not his friend.
Yeah, I know. I mean, so there's characters like this hanging around here, intimidating people. I'm just walking, filming the streets. There's a problem with me filming. What happens if I was just a little girl, a tourist trying to, vlog my day? As most tourists do, young girls do. They think it's cool to vlog the streets. And you met with that guy hanging outside the biggest metro station in the country.
Sometimes I will just go off and attack people at random. It's quite dangerous.
Oh, it's good that these guys are pushing back.
And they check them. But then this is like the modern day summed up in one picture here at the beginning of the video. This is in Brussels, which already had a Muslim type of problem, even when I visited there in like 2015 or 16. But the migrant walking past a poster that says the Dyke March. And you wonder what happened. You wonder who took what. So there it is. But it's nice to see guys push back. And I want to link that guy. We'll find him. He has a lot of good content like that. So
definitely. And then next, this guy in the UK confronts migrants who are smoking weed at a veteran memorial.
Do you know what this is, buddy? Do you know what this is? Yeah. A war memorial. Not for you not to sit on, so get out. Yeah? It's for soldiers that died. We are the migrant hunters. As it said in the paper. I'm a soldier. Oh, move. You're a soldier? Out. Move. What? Don't laugh, mate. Move. Yes, seriously, out. Move. Move now. Take your shirt. Fucking move now. Oh, look, tell me he's come down in my own picture. Move now. Out. Go on, mate.
So they eventually get him out.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that opposition, and it's good content, too.
Yeah, totally.
But that's
they're all
the kind
military-aged men lingering around, waiting to attack, do something.
But I'm sure those social media posts are the type that'll get you arrested.
Yeah. What's next? You viewed something. What's next? Something came across your timeline, and you weren't even looking at it.
I have a feeling I've been thinking some negative thoughts about the migrants. What's on your mind? It's illegal.
That's basically it, dude.
And then this next thing happened in the Netherlands, I believe.
Yeah, this is some Dutch resistance.
Dutch resistance against police.
Over migrants specifically. And the way I see this sort of reaction, it's like you've given no one a choice electorally. All of this sort of stuff, all of this migration stuff happened behind closed doors. Nobody explicitly voted on it. There was never like a let 1 million migrants in vote. And so I don't know what other options these people have.
That's the point. If they voted for this, it'd be one thing. They didn't vote for it, and you ruined their country in like 20 years. What do you think is going to happen at the end of it? Yeah. And here's something that I want to put out there because it is a possibility. Say there is like a right-wing resurgence in the countries where they can maybe vote their way out. If there is, that will be what ushers in the AI facial recognition technology. It'll be a right-wing person who wins with a nationalist, populist type of movement. And they're going to go, all right, we're getting all the migrants out. We're going to deport everybody. We have facial recognition, and we're going to be picking people up. And that might be where they usher it in first in Europe.
All right, fair.
Kind of makes sense.
But I mean, I think something has to happen with all these European countries. There needs, and we're reaching that boiling point now. I'm seeing more stuff on social media than ever. The crowds are insane. The numbers are going to tip to a point where you can't do anything. So the time to act is now. And I'm praying for Europe because it's ugly what they're doing.
Very. All right, we're on our final page of housekeeping where I can say whatever I want. Use the opportunity to tickle the post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment, comment again, then start yapping. P.O. Box, notifications, old episodes, group chat. You know what to do. All right, our first story of our final page of housekeeping, the laser-based iron beam interception system declared operational. It's Israel's anti-missile technology where they shoot lasers at it. Yeah. And then Matt Gaetz had a funny tweet. He said, I remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene was thrown off congressional committees for telling us about these. Remember that? The
Jewish space lasers.
Jewish space lasers. Turns out those were real.
Yeah. And then here's Sarah Silverman.
Well, this was when Marjorie Taylor Greene said they also control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say that it can't be done. And then Sarah Silverman said, you're an anti-Semitic pig. But maybe she was right about that too.
Yeah.
Weather control technology.
Yeah.
And then this next clip.
I mean, cloud seeding and stuff like that, it's not out of bounds, right? It's not out of anything.
They're doing it.
Yeah. So if they wanted to cause a flood in Gaza, I think Israel might be tempted.
Or a flood in Texas or wherever those floods happen.
You anti-Semitic pig.
Oink, oink.
Half right. Actually, maybe.
Full.
Maybe fully.
All right. And then I believe the day after Charlie Kirk was killed, 250 of our senators went over to Israel for the One Israel whatever event.
Yeah, 50 states, one Israel, something like that, whatever it was called. Horrible timing.
And then this is what Bibi Netanyahu said.
And our weapon systems we share with the United States. We're tremendously appreciative of the bipartisan support in military matters to Israel in previous years and today as well. But do you have cell phones? You have cell phones here? No? You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that? I mean, a lot of the cell phones, the medicines, the foods, you eat cherry tomatoes. You know where that was made? I don't like cherry tomatoes.
Oh. So the cell phones, he's saying that a lot of cell phones were made in Israel, which sounds like kind of like a threat.
Yeah. Your cell phone in your pocket? We just exploded the beepers.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. And then I found this tweet about cell phones. Can you give that a read, please?
Yeah, I think this is what it's referring to. This guy tweeted, just found out that every Samsung phone post-2022 has an Israeli app called App Cloud, whose only purpose is to provide a backdoor into your device. It installs apps without your permission. It cannot be deactivated or uninstalled.
Doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound good. I didn't fact check that before the show, though, unfortunately.
And then Edward Snowden, this is related. He risked his life to get another message out there a few years ago. He was saying how Israel has like a backdoor into all of the raw data of like every American. Not good. And to close out our little Israel section here, we have a graph. The U.S. has given over $250 billion in military aid to Israel. So we have a graph here. Basically, Israel kills JFK.
That's the part that wasn't on the graph.
And then after that, that's what happened. Causation, correlation. Yeah. The graph's right there. Mm-hmm. I see it. All right, moving on to our next section. This next clip might be a little controversial. It's a football play. An offensive lineman jumps on a defensive lineman and breaks his spine. Here's the clip.
You can see the moment the player wearing number 73, who plays for Kalamazoo Central, jumps on the Lakeshore player.
So here he is. He's on top of him. The guy's down. You know, to normal people watching, that might look bad, but I might need to defend the O-lineman a little bit here. Personal foul, 15 yards, definitely.
Kid broke his spine.
The kid did break his spine.
So,
but, yeah, you know, the guy's playing nasty.
yeah, I get it.
And I wish the kid didn't break his spine and it just got, you know, hit by that. We're O-linemen.
Yeah.
We used to play nasty. We used to do a thing where if you pancake a defensive lineman in college, in practice, you hump them.
Yeah.
And then the
You
D-line...
pick them up, you kind of grab them by the hips if they're on the ground, and you hump them, and it's funny on film.
Because
you
when
watch film later.
You watch film right after,
Yeah.
and you see like someone getting humped, and it's like embarrassing, and it makes them better,
Yeah.
and it gives you motivation to play harder to try and get them down. And then the D-line coach would say, if someone humps you, fight them. And then we would hump them, and then there would be a fight, and then the benches would clear, and we'd fight each other.
It was basically a fight every practice.
It was
because of
crazy.
this, yeah, for that brief 3-month period where we were humping the D linemen.
And the D-line coach would go, don't put your belt on him.
Yeah.
Don't put your belt on him. And then when you did, then you got into a fight.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an ugly scenario because the guy did break his back. But O-line playing dirty within the whistles, that's how you kind of dominate somebody.
Yeah.
And maybe what I used to do was if you pancake them, you let them get up. And when they're 60% up, you just run into them and pancake them again. Because when you're 60% up, you're going to get knocked back over.
Yeah.
So maybe you could have done that. And I'm not fully on the offensive lineman's side.
Of course not.
It's a little dirty,
Yeah.
but I like a nasty O-lineman.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And this is just a huge mismatch. Like, maybe that guy who broke his spine really shouldn't have been out there. It's kind of like when the Antifa people send the old lady out to go fight ICE.
Yeah.
That guy was like 6'5", 350. This guy's like 5'9", 210. Maybe he shouldn't be up against him.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's this giant, fat, black, low impulse control idiot offensive lineman flopping his giant, fat, disgusting body on a helpless kid, probably on the JV team, and his back is broken. So
yeah.
I get what you're saying, but it's not going to be a popular take.
It's not popular, and I'm not on anyone's side. I am backtracking a little bit because the guy broke his spine, but I do like when O-linemen play nasty. Football players would respect that.
Yeah.
Next, they body swap Simon Cowell. They body swapped him.
Yeah, he's got a fucked up face. Or, you know, you say he body swapped him. I say he, a surgeon, fucked up his face.
Then what
right?
was this?
Yeah.
That was weird. They
That's
body
bad.
swapped him minimum.
I was going to look up his age, but I know it's probably really old.
He's 50-something.
No, he's older than that, and that's why the face. Simon Cowell, age.
Let's see.
He's 65. Yeah, he's
65.
He's trying to hang on to something there.
They
I mean,
body
American
swapped
Idol
him.
was popular in like 2002, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he was probably 45 then.
Yeah, that's a good
right?
point.
Doing a little math, 40.
All right, next we got a shout out.
Fleccas Talks to
Podcast. The best news.
The best news podcast of all time.
Right. Try it again. Fleccas Talks the podcast.
Fleccas Talks the podcast.
The best new podcast of all time.
The best new podcast of all time. Fleccas Talks the news podcast. The best talk news podcast of all time.
One more time.
Fleccas Talks the news podcast. The best
News podcast of all time. Nice. All right, brother. All right. I'll be right back.
I appreciate it.
So they're giving him a job.
What job?
Like,
yeah.
They're putting the guys to work.
I mean, he bribed him with like an Arizona iced tea and a 7-Eleven hot dog or something.
Thank you for the I didn't realize that we had homeless show watchers.
Nah, thank you for the shout out.
Thank you, Matt. That was sick. Before we move on, we had an RRB coffee sip counter.
Yep.
And he kept track. There was
15.
a lot. 15
sips.
Last
Good
episode.
coffee that day. Good coffee that day.
Nice job. All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right. We have a little bit, no, it's not going to be a expedited cringe, but, you know, we have a faster cringe. First, we have a witch woman who is talking negatively about Charlie Kirk post-death.
I'm just going to say it, because all of you are thinking it. I can't keep my mouth shut. Why Charlie Kirk? Yeah, he's annoying. There were two better candidates if you were going to get the job done. And before you tag the official FBI account, make sure it's the FBI.
You know, this is what a witch would have been 1,000 years ago.
Yeah. Look at the facial expressions, dude. The no eyebrows, the over theatrical stuff, and then you're just a hideous creature, ugly inside and out.
Not a person you take an apple from.
What are these women, dude? What happened to these people? This is post-fried. She got fried by something.
Yeah, someone said bog hag physiognomy.
Bog hag? Yeah.
Bog hag.
Under a troll, under a bridge type troll.
Yeah, very much.
Dark. Potions, a lot of cauldron, a lot of witchcraft stuff.
Antisocial witchcraft stuff. And I had some more insight here. Can you read that tweet?
Landshark, he said, I want physiognomy to be wrong. I spend hours every day crying in front of soy-looking men, praying an insightful thought to come out of them. Nothing. I ask innocuous questions to people with unfortunate skull shapes, hoping they'll surprise me with insightful answers. Nothing.
Physiognomy season, guys.
Yeah.
We've been calling for that for a while. And then there's another tweet to close this clip out.
Most cases of witchcraft, the woman admitted to intending for a bad outcome. The efficacy of their ability to cast such hexes really didn't matter to our ancestors. It was enough that they understood the implication of the intent.
Very insightful.
I agree. It doesn't matter whether or not your little potions or whatever you're doing works. You're an evil bitch either way.
You're wishing death on people.
Yeah.
You're trying to curse people's bloodlines.
And you know, there's kind of the slap, if you make a face long enough, you'll end up with a face permanently and stuff like that. There is some sort of ugliness expressing on your face here. If you take some of these still frames from this woman, horrible, horrible, ugly person.
Yeah, not good.
Rotten soul.
Rotten. That's a good point. All right, speaking of witch women, this next lady transitioned both of her children.
The reaction when people hear that we have 2 trans kids is pretty shock and awe. Olivia said she was transgender from the age of 4 until 5. She didn't socially transition until she was 5 years old and entering kindergarten. When James was 8 years old, he asked to transition, which meant social transition. He just now, a month ago, started hormone blocker, and he is counting down the days until he can start testosterone, which would be the first time something permanent would be happening, because at that point, it would affect fertility. If you use a blocker and go on to testosterone, your eggs would never mature. Mm-hmm. And you've always said you wanted to be a parent.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that if you can't have your own child?
Adopt.
Yeah, pretty dark. And where do the kids even get this idea? I know where the second kid got the idea.
Yeah, second kid saw the attention that was going to older first trans kid and goes, oh, I guess I am too.
Yeah, this makes mommy happy. And then dad isn't strong enough to not have the whole family revolve around manic mommy's emotions.
Mm-hmm. He just wants to watch the Seahawks game. Yeah. In peace.
And then we have in this situation, 100% of the kids, I guess, were born in the wrong body.
Yeah.
And CPS should be called in a situation like this in a normal country. But in certain areas, Portland and a lot of the blue states, CPS would be called if you didn't affirm your transgender kid's transition.
And then I thought this was illegal. Hormone puberty blockers for a 9, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, whatever the range is. I think federal raids need to happen. I don't care about local CPS or whatever, Child Protective Services. I care about raid the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of time to arrest mommy. I thought this wasn't happening to children.
I thought so too.
But
hope.
And then funny enough, that video, that snippet is like 1 minute and 33 seconds. We kind of cut it short. Dad doesn't say one word. the whole time.
He's sitting there, though.
Yeah.
Our next clip is what we mentioned in the intro. The LGBs are separating themselves from the Ts.
It says, this is a declaration of independence. Lesbian, gay, and bisexual people have the right to our own organizations.
Declaramos independência LGBT porque tudo bem meninos gostarem de bonecas e meninas odiarem vestidos.
We are declaring our independence because we're tired of people who aren't lesbian, gay, or bisexual speaking for us in our name.
Vi bryter oss loss.
I'm not going to read it all. It's a bunch of people in different languages talking about why they're breaking free and declaring LGB independence.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the normal sodomites are separating themselves from the body mutilators.
Yeah.
Interesting brand move there.
I know. And honestly, it's a good move. It is a good move.
Normal gay people who fuck each other in the ass.
Honestly, nobody wants to be associated with trans. That's how bad trans people are, right? Yeah. And then, the normal gay people are separating themselves, and then that mom from before is making two of them. It's so fucking weird and backwards. But we've reached some sort of point where even people call these fascist or something. They'll switch up on them so quick. While they all got lumped together in some weird group just because they weren't straight.
Yeah.
So nobody ever asked to be. Even gays and lesbians should have totally different agendas, right?
You'd think.
We're women who like women, and then gay guys who fuck each other in the. They get all the diseases. The lesbians kind of have less, right?
Yeah.
They do a little domestic abuse. They hit each other a little bit.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Who are you texting? Let me see your phone.
Yeah,
they're acting like a man. So they kind of have to get aggressive.
That's a good point.
But they have completely different sets of problems too. So I don't.
Are you going to be lumping everyone together still?
No, I've always treated them differently, to be honest. The gay guys get the monkeypox. The trans people do the shootings. So I'm all very balanced. I like to separate them out.
That's interesting.
And I even treat the women who become men, the little boys, they're different than the men who become women, the sexual perverts.
So you
stroking their shit.
You compartmentalize it all.
Of course.
I'm actually on a different wave where I have everyone from like Harry Sisson and David Hogg all the way to Lily Tino. It's all one thing to me.
Yeah.
And it's like you're either a weird gay pussy or you're not. It's like a binary.
Okay.
So like Harry Sisson and Lily Tino are both trans.
Yeah, totally. I get that. But I think you're saying that as a joke, and it is our job to kind of differentiate.
Yeah.
We're deep in Cringe of the Week. You know what we study.
You got to differentiate. Yeah. And we have a good update from Tampa Pride, as says 2026 parade and festival won't happen, citing current political and economic climate.
Yeah, the organization's board announced the 1-year hiatus on Facebook, noting challenges with sponsorships, funding, and the discontinuation of DEI programs.
That's weird.
So the money got turned off? So taxpayers were somehow footing this bill the whole time because of DEI programs?
We've been paying for the gay sex parade?
Yeah, we have, turns out. But no more, and it's good to see.
That's weird. All right, next clip is something very special and maybe my favorite part of the whole show. New Classics is that AI music creator who made the outro song we use. Fleccas Talks, na 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 na, and he's really, really good. I went back to his YouTube, which is linked in the description, and he has a ton of songs that are all really catchy. This is an excerpt from a song called Your Pride.
They said love is love, and just leave us alone. It's none of your business what happens in our home. Now it's in every commercial and social media site. So we're all getting tired of these nasty sodomites. We're all sick of having to hear about what you do with your ass and who you put in your mouth. Since all the pedos and groomers are on your side, we don't give a damn about your pride.
It goes so hard.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love that shit.
There you go.
And you could tell he's a show watcher. We don't give a damn what you do with your ass and put in your mouth and who you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you do with your ass. It's like how I would have written it.
All right.
And that's how I feel about the outro song too. It's so good that I have no notes. It's just perfect. It's better than I could have made it. All right, that is the end of Cringe. We're now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, Urban Decay. We're not going to speed through it, but, you know, we have a little pace here at the end of the show. Our first clip of
You don't even need to tell anybody what we're going to do, you know?
And there's like no rules.
You're kind of like reassuring yourself.
Yeah, I know. Because there's no rules. There's no one who's like,
I know.
you got to keep it under an hour 50.
I know. There's no producer over here. There's no anybody. We're not with Jimmy Kimmel. We're not on a union set with $100 million in budget. We can do whatever we want. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do.
And then they don't need to know.
Yeah.
They'll take what's coming to them. They'll eat the slop that we give them.
I don't call it slop.
I do.
All right, you're right. We do like to keep a pace, but that's just me. Maybe a little autism.
I know. There's something with you.
All right, so these two girls got caught stealing, and listen to their excuse.
You said that as long as it's under 500, you get something about the citation.
And it's not under 500. I got the receipt right here.
No, that stuff 40 and 50% off. They add that.
You don't get discounts when you steal stuff. You get it at the market price.
All right.
Yeah, you don't get discounts when you steal stuff.
So they got caught stealing, and they're getting taken away because what they stole was over $500. So they knew that rule. I wonder if it was their first crime or not. But they said it was 40% off, which would have brought it below 500, meaning we just get a slap in the wrist and get let go.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just one of those cases that you see all the time with criminals where they know the laws, they know they're breaking the laws, they think they can break the laws in the best way possible, but they still slip up and are too stupid. And then this is the type of thing where people go, oh, the prisons are overcrowded. What does arresting do? You know, Mayor Brandon Johnson or something. Restorative justice. We need to let these people out. It's these people who are tiptoeing around, stealing, thinking because it was on sale, I can come under the radar and shit. It's like almost they gave a cognitive test of, oh, you thought you could calculate the numbers? Like they were seeing the numbers like
John Nash in Beautiful Mind.
Princeton. He said Princeton. But
40% off.
Yeah, 40% carry the one. That's $100, 40%, $40. But it's almost like a cognitive test. Like, okay, you're smart enough to do some basic math on what you're stealing. You're smart enough to go to fucking jail right now because you knew stealing was wrong or right.
And then if you did arrest those types and put them in real jail, all of the petty stealing goes away overnight.
Yeah.
That's the key. All right, our next story, it's a two-part. It's a Seattle homeless child assaulter. So here's the opening context clip.
Disturbing details. A Seattle man now in jail accused of sexually assaulting and kidnapping a 5-year-old girl. Seattle police say the suspect was arrested at a homeless encampment right in the 2000 block of South Hanford Street, right about here. That is the location of Tent City 3, and it is managed by Seattle Housing and Resource Effort, or SHARE. The site had just opened last month. Now, according to court documents, the girl lived at the encampment with her parents, as did the suspect. He is being held in the King County Jail right now on $750,000 bond.
So he sexually assaulted a child.
A couple of key points there, too, that may have flown under the radar. She referenced it as Tent City 3, meaning there's 2 other locations, and it had just opened a month ago. So, like, tent cities are popping up still.
And the government is like facilitating them opening up and organizing the tent city. Organizing the tent. It's like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
And then here's an update to that same story.
Days after a 46-year-old man was arrested at this tent city in South Seattle, the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office confirms prosecutors didn't meet the state's 72-hour deadline to file formal charges, and the suspect was released from jail.
This is not something that will be on the...
So he's back on the streets.
And then that's 70.
And he's homeless.
Yeah, and he's going right back to Tent City. Where's he going to go? But this is one of those things where it's like, why self-impose? The state of Washington, why self-impose a 72-hour deadline? Like, obviously, someone made a mistake, and the people in the prosecutor's office are stupid and missed it. But why self-impose a 72-hour thing? Just make it 5 days. Make it a week.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do that. Like, we don't need hurdles to prosecuting crime these days, right?
And then whose side are you on when you let him go because of 72 hours?
Yeah.
Well, we got to respect the homeless guy, child abuser.
Those are his rights as a citizen in the state and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why are we... It's a matter of days. It doesn't actually matter. You can still keep it relatively safe, but not where you'd get in a pickle, you know?
Sir, you're free to go back to the tent city where the victim and you were.
5-year-old.
That's Democrat justice. Yeah. All right, our next story, we have a couple here, a couple stories. It's the unfit for trial types. So the Irina Zarutska one is the first example. We mentioned that last week. The guy who killed Irina Zarutska was released to a mental hospital for a 60-day evaluation.
Yeah.
And we have a couple other ones now, too.
Irina Zarutska's murder is not surprising if you look at what's happening. This guy killed and ate another man's brain, is now under conditional release, but he should be locked up for life. Prison or psychiatry doesn't matter. Imagine he ate the brain of his victim, and soon you can meet him at your local grocery store. What the fuck? A Connecticut man who was found not guilty by reason of insanity for killing a victim with a hatchet and eating body parts has been granted conditional release from the state's only maximum security psychiatric hospital, despite concerns expressed by the victim's family and state lawmakers. The state's Psychiatric Security Review Board granted Smith conditional release from the hospital on Friday after hearing from a psychiatrist who said Smith's schizophrenia and alcohol and drug disorders were in full remission as a result of medication and other treatment. Blah, blah, blah. They released him,
So
right?
they released him. He killed someone with a hatchet and ate their brain. And now he's back on the streets at a grocery store near you.
Yeah, and then the psychiatrist who said his schizophrenia and alcohol and drug disorders were in full remission. Like,
now.
We're talking about a brain eater not having one slip up with alcohol or drugs again, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's such this tenuous, like, we got him to equilibrium for a 3-day stretch. All right, get him out on the street. Let him see if he falls in with his old crew who he's doing drinking and drugs with. And those brain eaters, they really stay on their meds a lot.
Yeah.
Street rats, they love a consistent schedule, and they usually eat lunch with their meds every day.
And they refill their subscription from CVS.
Yeah.
I got to go to CVS and pay for a filled subscription.
Drugs? No thanks. I'm on my way to CVS for the schizophrenia meds. Like, there's just some weird thing where they think if they get someone back to, like, this reasonable state for, like, a week or a month, then there's no need to put them in... Like, dude, if you're really, really mentally unfit, which I want to get rid of it altogether, but, like, there's no reason you can't stay in the comfy, high-security psychiatric hospital. That's a compromise I'm willing to make, is locked up in the psychiatric hospital forever.
Yeah.
There's a ward, there's a basement where the long-term guys have to stay, right?
That's what I would like, too. Yeah. But according to Jasmine Crockett, people who do crimes aren't criminals.
I understood what was kind of pushing them there. And so I do want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is...
You go, and you're trying to understand.
The hipster white guy who's on the verge of being in a Sephora commercial getting his makeup done.
Yeah.
Goes, yeah, Jasmine Crockett, that's smart.
That's deep. It's either really brilliant or retarded. Makes no sense. I can't figure it out live right now.
Yeah. I'll just let you keep going, Congresswoman. Anything else?
Black woman's talking. I'm listening.
Yeah.
And then this next
So
clip,
exhausting, dude.
Yeah. And it makes no sense. And you can't call it out because then you're racist. But then she says something so retarded. Just because you did crime doesn't make you a criminal. That's like the most true thing. If you do a crime, you're a criminal.
And even if I'm being generous, like you could be generous and say people make mistake one time. It's like, so what are the 4-time felons, Jasmine? What are they? They should really go away, right?
Is everyone Aladdin stealing an apple and some bread for the night?
No.
No. And our next clip...
Nikes.
Our next clip exemplifies that. This guy is buying food for homeless people, and look what happens.
Let me review what I just did. Not today. Hey, excuse me.
Hey, you stole my wallet. Stop him. Stop him. Stop him. You got my wallet.
Yo, where's my wallet?
Here, sir. Where's the wallet? Here's your wallet.
Live on TikTok, you steal from me, who I'm buying food for people like you right now.
You were buying food for you?
I was buying food for people.
Hell. Let me go, please. No. You're not going anywhere, dude. Let me go. No. Let me go. You're not going anywhere. We will strike you if you fucking move. Let me go.
Got my wallet back.
Get up.
No, he stole my wallet. We just caught him.
Yo, get the fuck off him, man.
Hey, we're waiting for the police. We're waiting for the police. No, but he stole from me. Look, man, you're starting. We're waiting for the police. No, but he stole from me. Look, man, you're starting. Get off of there, man.
Get the fuck off. Let him go, dude. Are you a cop?
Okay, great. Now you let him get away.
What up? What up?
Wow, now it's a racial thing. You had to make it a racial thing, eh?
Makes you want to say it.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say it after the camera starts rolling. But man, just like a guy with no context comes up and starts like putting his own. Like, what if this guy headlocking this black guy on the street really was like a sick fuck and was looking for a fight?
Mm-hmm.
This guy immediately puts his neck on the line
to defend him just because he's black
for a racial compatriot, and like he's angry and ready to fight. So that's who we're dealing with as a society. 3 people come together to help stop a pickpocket or whatever you want to call it, who's stealing from a literal guy who's in a walker in a scooter, and then you immediately side with the criminal. So criminals ain't criminals, Jasmine Crockett, and then criminals side with each other and let them get away. It's a dark fucking situation. So 3 good guys can be outranked by 1 psycho, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can contain 1 psycho, but once 2 psychos come, then all of a sudden it's a problem. It just it makes me sick. And you know, how many offenses did that guy have?
Yeah, a lot.
So,
and you automatically defend him because he's black, and there's a white guy holding a black guy down as if he's not most likely a criminal.
Yeah.
All right. Our last story from Urban Decay is a local story in St. Pete. A woman was ran over, and it was a hit and run, and she died. Can you read that, please?
Yeah. Kirsten Strang, 38, Florida mom. She that sounds like a Scandinavian name. Kirsten with a J. Florida mom killed while riding her bike by a DUI driver. Xavier Omar drove 8+ blocks as Kirsten slowly died on his hood, and he had multiple prior arrests. Here's him, here's her. It's just another white life snuffed out by a dirty dreads type. We've told you about the dirty dreads, guys. You always need to be profiling, but unfortunately that doesn't help you when you're a bicyclist and he's behind the wheel of a car. Guy's got a lot of traffic citations since 2020, almost 9. You know, speeding, leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage with no insurance, operating an unregistered motor vehicle, reckless driving when reduced from DUI. So he was driving, and it says possession of marijuana, so smoking in the car. You know how they like to roll their blunts and smoke in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Open container, driver in possession, driving on the wrong side of a divided highway. That's a hard one to do unless you're retarded, and then speeding again. And so he was drunk, basically, killed this woman. This is right by us.
I mean, he tried to get away.
Yeah.
He did get away. He just drove away.
He ran, and she died on the hood of his car. She had a young son.
Carried her for 8 blocks.
It's like this. Every time you see one of these pictures, it's like a brother lost his sister, a mother lost their daughter. You know, like there's 8 points of connection to a nice, upstanding woman in America, and there's one fucking repeat offender type who's been breaking the laws since 2020.
So true.
Makes me want to say it, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now.
Salt and Viv. All right, let's move on. Don't get too down or too depressed. We're now moving on to Uplifting Gold. All right, our first clip of Uplifting Gold. This is pretty cool. It's like wet cement corner design. Look at this. Pushes it together. I like that. Isn't that nice?
Is that wet cement?
Something. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's nice. I like that.
That's uplifting.
There you go.
People are still building buildings with a little design to it.
Craftsmanship.
All right, next we have a neighborhood celebrating Halloween a little early. So this guy turned his house into like a pirate lawn. I don't know if I even like that.
Jack Sparrow shit.
Where do you store that?
That's a good question.
There's no basement. Is there a basement and your whole basement's this shit?
Yeah. He
This
pays
is-
$9,000 in storage fees a year just to stunt from September to October.
This is like a $300,000 lawn thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's uplifting because people like Halloween.
Okay.
And it's the first day of fall, I think yesterday. So we're into spooky season.
Okay. There you go.
All right. Next, Uplifting Gold. Blackface is back. So I think these girls are WNBA players. And they really wanted to get the outfit and look of the costume correct.
And they even got the lips. They even got the lips.
They even got the lips right.
Oh,
You
good,
know?
good to see some people not care.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is people doing comedy and they don't care. All right, next, actual uplifting, the massive turnout in Arizona for the Charlie Kirk Memorial.
One more time. So I'll throw up my head, praise you again and again.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that was nice, man. It was a good memorial for Charlie.
That was a massive event, tons of people, massive.
Yeah.
And it was very faith-based. It was all worship music, and everyone's proclaiming Christ is King. It was a really good thing. So sad situation, but beautiful response to it. Another good piece of news, Liam, remember Liam who had the heart surgery that we helped raise money for?
Oh, yeah. This is Liam.
That's him. It went well. The chest tubes have been removed. He's been walking around. He's eating Doritos. He's feeling better. Happy about that. That's on you guys. Thank you guys for supporting him and helping his parents, make ends meet on that.
That's great. And we kind of have, it's kind of like buying a racehorse. We kind of have like a vested interest in Liam now. We supported him.
We have to watch him his whole
We
life.
have to watch what he's up to and like see what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we get to follow. I want to get a Liam jersey.
Yeah. It's like fantasy player or something. He's like
Yeah.
our guy now. He's our little adoptive guy.
Yeah, and then soon he'll be doing baseball. We got to watch him and make sure he does good baseball and football and whatever.
All right.
That's good. Happy for you, Liam. We love you. We're glad you're doing well.
Good to hear.
And our final clip of the episode, our Pure Americana clip of the week, is this cheerleader rendition of the national anthem. Very cool.
That's Americana.
That's Americana.
That's some rock and roll type shit.
A high school cheerleader playing the guitar.
Cheerleader
National
outfit.
anthem.
You know what? I think people should bring back Letterman jackets more. Like, students should legitimately wear Letterman jackets again.
idea.
Cheerleaders still get the cheerleader outfit. You know, football players, they what? They wear the jersey on Friday?
Yeah.
Make Letterman jackets. Bring those back.
I'll work on that.
You get that, write that down.
All right, another episode in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasTalks.com for Bonus Land, which drops tomorrow at 11 a.m. Get on that Bonus Land, guys, and you have a whole Fleccas Talks, the podcast schedule. Feels good. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on Friday.
When you feel like the world is backwards and upside down, notifications on, and then you hear the sound. There's uplifting gold and Fleccas pets getting trolled. Coming up to brighten your day. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Best to keep the P.O. box full. We won't stop till the world is rid of all the pickles. If more Fleccas content is what you demand, then just make sure you're sub to bonus land. Fleccas Talks, give it up to the world's best host. Fleccas Talks, choose the ongoing tickle the post. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. We're watching old episodes. Yeah, watching old episodes. Fleccas Talks, buying shit coins and trading stocks. Fleccas Talks, we're still kicking over stacked rocks. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Words are just words until action actually starts. Fleccas Talks, and actions speak louder than words. Fleccas Talks, but at the same time, words speak.
I don't like cherry tomatoes, but it's an Israeli. What can I do? It's an Israeli product.